I am the Liberal candidate Scarborough Agent. First of all, thank you everyone for coming to this morning's press conference. I'm very pleased to be joined by my fellow candidates. I'll introduce them from my left in order, and then I will make a few brief remarks. To my left is Shaun Chen, our candidate in Scarborough North. Beside Shaun is Banggu Jiang, our candidate in Markham Unionville. Beside Banggu is Geng, our candidate in Don Valley North. And of course, someone needs no introduction, the Minister of Citizenship, Immigration, and International Trade, the Honorable Michael Chen. We are now in the dying days of the campaign. It has been a very long campaign, and I'm sure my fellow candidates would agree that we are very much looking forward to the result of the electors on Monday, October the 19th. What I propose to do really is to summarize what I think have been the key issues in the campaign and what is at stake for Canadians, and particularly the Chinese Canadian community on Monday. If you recall, about this election, of course, was called approximately 76 days ago. And so a lot of what has transpired may, of course, recede in some of your memories. So I'm hoping to summarize that. And as well, I want to have you recall that we launched our campaign, the four of us, along with 10 other tremendous Liberal candidates from the GTA in my campaign office approximately 2 months ago. And of course, we featured not only, I think, 4 tremendous Chinese Canadian candidates that are hoping to represent our community in the House of Commons, but 14 dynamic individuals, men and women from across the Greater Toronto area that are from communities with a significant Chinese Canadian population. And I think it's really important that we keep that in mind as voters go to cast their ballots on Monday. Look, this campaign has seen many things transpire. I would argue that the campaign in many ways has been defined by external events, whether, of course, at the beginning of the campaign with the Mike Duffy trial, the situation that arose with respect to the Syrian and Iraqi refugee crisis that was taking place overseas. We then saw, I think, a campaign that began to focus on dividing Canadians. You saw Stephen Harper raising the issue of the niqab as a basis of, and of course, creating the so-called barbaric cultural practices secretariat to focus on a particular ethnocultural community and a particular religious practice. And I think that this has been a really unbecoming approach to our Canadian politics, when in fact there are so many more important defining issues that I think Canadians need to consider on Monday. We have been faced with a very weak economic performance in the last 10 years. We are in the second recession under Stephen Harper, and we need, and on top of that, we have to keep in mind that job growth has remained slow in OECD terms, especially when you factor in Canada's population growth. And finally, keep in mind too that we have also been dealing with the government that has undertaken a broken immigration system, a system that is making it harder for Canadians, harder for your families to be reunited. You've seen the family class reunification system, first of all, shut down for a couple of years, and then when it was reopened, only allowing 5,000 parents and grandparents a year to be reunited with their families. We've also seen very much a focus on making it more difficult for newcomers to ultimately attain Canadian citizenship. And so we think that this is a particularly unbecoming set of policy, and it really is time for economic, time for change on Monday. So I'm going to stop my comments here, and I'm going to.
Thank you very much, Arnold. 大家好，我係陳勝元. I'm incredibly pleased to be here. My name is Shaun Chen. I'm your federal Liberal candidate in Scarborough North. And for me, the most important question in this election is what kind of Canada do we want? What kind of country do we want? I can tell you from my own experience, my parents came here over 40 years ago. They immigrated to Canada because they wanted a better life and they wanted a better future for their future generations. They came here with no money. My parents never went to university, but they were able to work hard. They were able to find a job. They were able to afford to buy a car and then buy a home, to build up a middle-class life and to raise a family. And I'm very proud of them for everything that they did. They were able to sponsor over my grandparents who helped raise me when I was a child. And that has been such an important influence for me in my life. And I look around today and I see what is happening to our country. We have young people who work hard and their parents might be immigrants and they are first-generation Canadians. And they go to university or college and they graduate and they cannot find jobs. 13% unemployment among our young people. My parents are now in their retirement age. And on average, a senior retiring gets $618 a month from CPP. You cannot live off this. It is wrong. Our seniors need to retire and be able to live with dignity because they've worked hard and they deserve to have the respect. I see so many immigrant families try to sponsor over their parents or their grandparents only to be caught in a broken immigration system under the current government. The Conservatives have failed. They have failed on immigration, they have failed on economy, they have failed to provide opportunities for Canadians. And so I go back to that question, what kind of Canada do we want? I look back to the legacy that previous Liberal governments have left us. My father always reminded me it was Pierre Elliott Trudeau who opened Canada's doors to immigrants, who put in our multiculturalism policy. It was a Liberal government that put in our Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. And that charter has ensured that each and every person, no matter the color of their skin, or no matter the language they speak, where they were born, whether they're man or woman, no matter their individual differences, they are treated with equal respect and rights under the law. And that is the Liberal legacy, and that is the Canada that I want to see. I want to see a Canada that is compassionate, like my colleague Arnold talked about, when it comes to refugees. A Canada that opens its doors to family reunification, to make sure that parents and grandparents can live together, that the family can be together. A country that is there to create opportunity for our next generation. Because right now, the rich is getting richer. Research report after research report tells us that the wealthiest 1% in Canada are getting richer and richer and richer, and the middle class has disappeared. That's not my vision of Canada. I don't believe that's the vision that most Canadians have of Canada, and that is why so many people want change in this election. And the Liberal Party has a platform. The Liberal Party has the candidates. As you can see, we have 4 strong candidates here today that are putting their name forward to represent you as Liberal MPs. And I hope that we can get the vote out and get people to know how important this election actually is. You've heard about some of the issues that have helped define this election. The niqab, the wedge issues that the Conservatives have used to deflect from what really matters. And what really matters is, again, back to that question that I asked, what kind of Canada do you want? So I please encourage you and I encourage everybody to come out and vote. We need you to come out and vote because this election depends on the people. And as you can see in the advanced polls, so many Canadians came out to vote. And to me, that's an indication that people want change. So thank you very much for being here, and please Let's get out the vote. Let's vote in a liberal government. Thank you.
对象，我就讲普通话了哈。刚才Shaun呢讲了一下，这次选举，其实呢就是关于什么样的加拿大我们想要。我觉得呢，这个再延伸一点呢，就是通过这么久的这个跟选民交谈，对很多问题的探讨，我觉得现在越来越清楚，自由党应该是最好的选择。自由党现在在最好的位置，带领我们，带领整个加拿大进入到一个新的里程。我的选区在万景渔人村，老百姓关心什么呢？跟老百姓很多人谈，他们关心经济，关心工作，关心交通。我们自由党呢，正好在各个方面都有非常好的计划。我们要投资，我们要开发很多项目，这样的话，老百姓有工作，然后我们有特别的资金，就是解决交通、解决这个traffic 的问题。Justin Trudeau 做那个 announcement 的时候是在Richmond，所以说这个呢，如果真的是一个自由党政府的话，一年过去，大家会见到效果。然后呢，年轻人，很多人谈的，年轻人没有工作，自由党呢专门有怎么 create job 跟这些年轻人这个计划，我跟很多我们选区老百姓交流过，他们感觉非常好。很多人关心老年人问题，我们有很好的老年人的计划，我可以列出6、7点来，也是跟很多 senior 交流过。所以说的话，从经济方面大家关注的方面，我觉得自由党的政策正好是我们老百姓需要的。另外还有一个就是很多人关心民主，过去这 Stephen Harper 9年政府民主做得好吗？很多人的回答是不好。Justin Trudeau 有32条这个民主改革的这个计划，其实呢很多里头是老百姓关心。反复有人问我，如果你选上了，你怎么能够代表我们，而不是只是听党部的 ？Justin Trudeau 难道是encourage我们，鼓励我们？作为他的 MP 的话，我们一定是能够有机会独立表达自己的意见。所以说，我们提到的这些自由党想做的，很多时候是正好回到了我们选民的 concern。所以说，我觉得无论从经济，还是从民主2个方面，自由党有最好的 plan， 然后有我们很好的 leadership。另外在 CBC 那天讲，这次选举是关于什么？很多人说最后一个词是 leadership。大家看到 contrast，Stephen Harper versus Justin Trudeau。我们的党里是非常我们喜欢的词儿，非常阳光、正面，非常有充满活力。我觉得这正是加拿大需要的，我们选民需要的。另外呢，我想借这个机会，可能这次就是选举之前，最后的一个这个 news conference， 谈谈我自己这个对整个社区的这种感激之情，这一段新的路程。真的是挺不容易。作为大陆第1代移民，2年以前站出来，一晃真的就做了2年了。社区的人很多支持，很多关心，无论你同意不同意我们的意见，总是在关注我们。我觉得我跟团队的成长，都是大家支持鼓励的结果。这个过程里头，我们学了很多，接触了很多人，了解了很多。这个过程真的是非常非常的宝贵，我真是感谢所有的人，特别感谢媒体的朋友，多少次跟你们接触，然后呢，每一次我都有很多很多的收益。选举还有2天了，真的就像准备了很久，就像有人说像考试，我觉得呢，没有，就是算一场这个。准备到最后呢，我们要看到结果，但是呢，信心是很足的，因为跟老百姓聊了很多，信心足呢，主要是感觉到我们能有这个机会，能够为老百姓做很多事儿，能够为国家做很多事儿，还有我们华人社区，我们这么多华人背景的候选人在这儿，我们 所以说呢，充满信心。感谢一直支持我们的人，特别感谢已经在那个advance poll 投了票的人。在希望呢，我们没投票的人，10月19号一定去投票，而且一定投自由党。谢谢大家。
大家好，欢迎参加今天的新闻发布会。刚才我们几个同事候选人基本把我所有的东西都讲完了，我就是很简单的讲讲我自己的一点点感受。当我从第一天出来参加竞选，一直到昨天为止，一直到昨天为止，总是有不停的人在问我，说你为什么要出来参与政治啊？为什么要选择这样就是党中间为什么选择这样的党案？我老是跟他们重复3句话。第一句呢，就是你问问你自己，你为什么会来到这个国家？第二句话呢，我就问你问问你自己，你为什么选择留在这个国家，让你的下半生留在这个国家，并且成立家庭，或者把你的家庭留在这儿，让你的后辈在这儿生活？第3个问题，你希望你的子孙在一个什么样的社会生存和发展？每个人对这3个问题呢，有共性也有特性，有很多不同的解答。有一个共同的解答，我是坚信的，就是每个人都希望这个国家，希望我们自己和我们的后代生活在一个非常和平的、和谐的、积极向上的社会，生活在一个非常干净的、政治上很干净、文化上很繁荣的这么一个国家里。我想这是每一个人，不管他的政治观念如何，不管他的文化和价值观念如何，这是个共性。我从第一天开始，我相信这点，到今天我接触了千万人，敲了无数的门之后，我还是更加坚信这一点，这也是每个人的共性。但是呢，我们再过2天我们就要大选了，大家看到这次的大选跟以往大选有什么不一样？是某某政党在抹黑。一个多数党控制的国会，到了大选年4年下来，我们叫什么？交作业的时候，也交答卷的时候，你这4年来为加拿大人做了什么东西？哪一点做的你觉得可以夸夸其谈？哪一点你觉得不好就得让人家批评？不是这样，他们现在是这个所现在的这个执政党是利用他所有的资源和武器抹黑对手、攻击对手，甚至到了我们叫做说一个道德底线都被越过了。我不知道在座的多少看到过一个587个教授或者学者写这个联名信，就提到了政治民主上一个道德的底线被越过的一个事情。大量的口号式的语言、有句事实无中生有，一直到今天我们还看到，尤其是华人社区，你看看从第一天开始，无数的你可以看到一个专业性的部队，不停的给你制造这个谣言，不停的扭曲事实，不停的无限制的在微信上刷屏轰炸，不停的给人洗脑。但是你真正问到他点上，他一个都不敢回答。我们叫的很典型的就是打一枪就换一个地方。他讲经济，你告诉他保守的经济做得不好，他换话题。你问什么问题，他放一个谣言，你驳他一下，他就换一个主题。一串下来10几个主题下来之后，什么都没讲完，没关系，过了1天他又从头给你再来，就这么不停的这放谣言。这是民间说法，从官方的说法你们看到，一直到今天的报纸还在有无数的这个谣言、扭曲事实。他不强调他这个政府为加拿大人做了什么，他不强调下一届政府为加拿大需要振兴经济、需要提供就业、需要人民过上幸福生活，他不做这个事，这不是他关心的要点。他关心的要点是怎么用恶劣的语言、抹黑的手段来重新威吓人民、分裂社区、分裂种族、分裂信仰，从中捞利。这一点是完全突破了道德底线，这不是我们想要的加拿大。我们想要的加拿大是个平和的，是个干净的，是个每个人非常信心，是一个非常的感到舒坦，不会感到害怕和恐惧的加拿大。尤其对新移民来说，他来的加拿大是一个梦想，这不是我们想要的加拿大梦。所以我就请求我们媒体把这信息放出去，这不是我们想要的加拿大。我们需要的加拿大是一个干干净净的加拿大，是一个我们的后代一个健康向上的生长环境的加拿大。谢谢大家。